Yo, what's up? Welcome back to yet another video. Today we are talking about electric cars. The reason why we're talking about electric cars in Africa is because there's a new car in the market.
Today, we are here to celebrate a historic moment, a game-changing development that is reshaping the landscape of African innovation and technological advancement. We are talking about Burkina Faso's own 100% indigenous electric vehicle, the ITAOIUA EV.
Oh, yay! I actually saw this. I was like, wow, this is actually a good thing. And then I was like,
Under the visionary leadership of President Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso has emerged as a beacon of progress.
okay, I'm gonna have to talk about this because I saw this video. It says Ibrahim Traoré surprises Tesla CEO Elon Musk with the launch of Africa's best electric vehicle in Faso. Um, First of all, I'd like to clarify that I'm not a fan of Elon Musk. I'm not like supporter of him or anything. Not related, none whatsoever. But
For years, the electric vehicle industry has been dominated by Tesla, the American brand spearheaded by Elon Musk. Tesla's cars and Cybertrucks have been marketed as the pinnacle of automotive technology. But today, a new player has entered the field, challenging the status quo and offering an alternative that is tailor-made for Africa.
if we're gonna compare a brand new car to Tesla, then we are just kind of fooling ourselves. This is just like blatant propaganda that is just like wrong to do. I guess maybe it's good for the thumbnails, and like people will click it. But if you watch this video, you will know that this is not just like a clickbait thing. This is the person who believes that this is a threat to Tesla. Yeah. The problem I have with electric cars in Africa is is the electric part of it. What I mean by that is that there is not much electricity to go around Africa, especially in Burkina Faso. I hear they do have a lot of unstable, is it unstable, unstable electric power supply. Like they do have blackouts, and it might improve since now the new government have taken power, but it seems like it has not yet improved. So that's the other thing. If you're gonna introduce an electric car, you have to have uh, a steady supply of electricity, because electric cars, they don't like, yeah. I'm trying to be as understanding and as positive as I possibly can, but we are talking about Africa. And what people don't understand is that when you're talking about one country in Africa, out around the world, people don't look at a statement as like a Burkina Faso thing. They say it's an African thing. They look at the power, the electricity statistics, and what country is producing more electricity and what country is supporting its population more consistently with electricity. And Burkina Faso is not in one of those lists. So it's surprising to me that they will have an initiative where they spend more money on importing electric cars. It doesn't make sense to me. And one other thing was that these cars are supposedly indigenous to Burkina Faso, which means they are manufactured fully in Burkina Faso zero, from zero, like from planning to the finished product.
Let us break it down. The Itoa EV is designed by Burkinabe engineers, manufactured in Burkina Faso, and built to serve the specific needs of African consumers. It can run up to 330 kilometers on just 30 minutes of charging, making it not just a sustainable solution, but also a highly practical one in regions where access to energy is a crucial concern. This means that the ITAOUA EV is not only on par with Tesla's supercharger technology, but is actually optimized for rapid charging, reducing downtime and maximizing efficiency for African roads.
And I would like to think that is not true. Looking at this car, it's one of those regular Chinese cars that they have in Botswana, and I think they have one in Nigeria as well. Something car. I don't know. And I don't think these cars were manufactured in Burkina Faso. They were assembled in Burkina Faso. That will be good, but I don't think they are manufactured in Burkina Faso. And that leaves the market because if you look at the electric cars business market, it's getting crowded. And for countries like Burkina Faso, I doubt that they will be able to be victorious in those markets because now countries like South Africa and Mexico, I think they are eyeing that market as well. So you gotta have to be in a position to compete with those, especially if you are producing a car that is Africa friendly. It has to beat Toyota. You know what I mean? Like it has to be like better than Toyota. Like you have to convince somebody to give up their 4x4 to take on Sahel, whatever brand this car is.
President Captain Ibrahim Traore's unwavering commitment to transforming Burkina Faso into a technological hub is commendable. His support for homegrown industries like Itaoué sets a precedent for other African nations to follow. For other African nations to follow. For other African nations to follow.
The launch of the vehicles is a culmination of a partnership between Botswana Institute for Technology Research and Innovation, or BITRI, and two Chinese companies. One of the Chinese manufacturers has partnered with BITRI in assembling sport utility vehicles, or SUVs, while the other one is assisting Botswana to produce electric buses.
This is the first one which we have assembled. That's why it's a big milestone just to have that first one. The rest they can follow. Like we have the vehicle, we have got the buses, but this is the first one. That is so key, that is so important. It's a big milestone to say, yes, it was assembled in Botswana.
And I doubt that this car is that. They have it in Botswana as well, and I haven't heard anybody talking about it. First of all, they don't have any other features that is like a wow feature where maybe you have self drive in the dirt road, and they can identify a cow or goat or like dog in the middle of the road in Africa, or their sensors are fine to be to like be covered in dust, those dusty places of Botswana. I am not sure that these cars will be able to handle that. Apart from that, you also need a saving station. The problem with electric cars in Africa, and I think in Botswana, I'm going to give an example with Botswana, even though this video is mainly because of Burkina Faso propaganda, is that you're going to have to spread your service around the country. Like you have to have somebody in different cities that whenever this car has a breakdown, they can take it to. Otherwise, it's just in one place in the city, and no matter how far you are, they will have to just take it all the way back to where it's manufactured, which is also like a lot of expenses and a lot of headache. And if you're like a car owner, whenever you have a breakdown, you want it done and dealt with quickly. But this car is going to take a long time to get. Even I think Tesla still struggles with that in the US. They still have a few places that can work on these Teslas. I don't know. Maybe they're increasing those numbers by now. But that is like the biggest country not famous for making electric cars.
Unveiling the vehicles, Botswana's president, Mokgweetsi Masisi, said Botswana is positioning itself as a leader in Africa's electric vehicle market. Masisi asserts that by 2025, the government intends to establish a manufacturing plant capable of producing 100 electric cars per month.
We must produce the best, the fastest, the most cost-effective. We in Botswana are ready to start our automobile industry.
The launch of the Itaoué EV is not just a milestone for Burkina Faso, but a call to action for the rest of Africa. It signals that the era of dependency on foreign technology is over. And
I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm nitpicking, but I think that there's been a lot of misinformation about what Burkina Faso is capable of, and it doesn't make sense anymore. It just kind of, it's now just becomes just weird. Okay, so yeah, I'm sure you have seen thousands of people talking about indigenous car, Burkina Faso is coming for you, coming for the West. And I don't know, I think like this thing should stop. Yes, we want African countries to win, but we have to do it the right way. We have to like make sure that leaders are not just counting on their minions to spread this news and it's not true. There are very few people that produces cars in Africa, and you can tell that this car is somebody's idea. Somebody's in Africa. They have all the things that you need. Like, well, I remember what Amaya recently did. One guy who manufactured cars in Lesotho. There are those cars you can tell they're custom made for Lesotho conditions. Like they can go up the mountain, up and down, dirt roads and all that, and solid cars. But this one is a Chinese made car, and the engineers are Chinese, so they when they're thinking of making this model of a car, they're thinking of Chinese conditions, and I doubt that will be able to survive in the conditions of Africa or Burkina Faso. And that could be just a waste of money. Honestly, this money that is invested in this project, same as in Botswana, by the way, they could be invested in something else. Like invest in like a new. I don't think we need cars right now. I don't think we need. I mean, we need like proper cars. Like if you're gonna manufacture a car, an African car, you have to be an African and know all the conditions that they are there. I feel like they're kind of similar. You have dust, you have mud, you have what do potholes and all that. But until somebody comes up with that, I feel like we don't need these electric cars yet. Maybe in the future, but yet, unless if we are manufacturing them from scratch ourselves, not like importing parts and assembling them like Legos and trying to sell them. That is going to push the prices of these cars high, and then a lot of people are not going to afford them. And then what's the point? Yeah, I think that the propaganda that is leveled for Burkina Faso should just be stopped. Should be called out. I know it's like make people feel good inside, but why do you have to feel good by lies? I'm sure there are really good things that are going on in Burkina Faso that don't need propaganda. Just gotta tell it how it is. Like maybe the agricultural sector is booming. Talk about that and show evidence. Not just come up and with us all it's nonsense. I'll see you guys on the other side.